Hello friends, welcome to my channel Go Digit. Today in this video we will learn the jobs module in the Business Central. Okay, we can say either the jobs module or the project management in the Business Central. So what exactly jobs is? So job means that whenever your company or any company receives any kind of project or the work, let's say any contract when they receive and they would like to maintain or input all the activities and the cost which they incurred in each activity during the complete contract or the project, then this process comes very handy in this Business Central. Okay, so following I have mentioned the processes which involved in the jobs module. So first of all is that we have to create a new job card where we will mention all the activities which we are going to do for that project. Okay, then in this the second step is to create the job task lines. Job task line is nothing but to define the sub activity involved in my job card. Okay, then in the job planning lines we will mention that for each task who is going to do or who is actually liable to do that particular activity. For example, either the resource or if any item, then we can mention or input those information in the job planning lines. After we define all these three things in the job card, then we will use the then we will create the or then we will create the job journal and then post the job journal. Job journal is used for posting the total cost which incurred per task line. Okay, then the fifth step is to create and post the sales invoice. As the name mentioned, the sales invoice is used for charging uh, your uh, your money, charging the money from the customer. Okay, regarding the job which you did for your customer. Okay, there is another part in the jobs module which is work in process. So work in process, as the name suggests, this is the process to calculate the incurred cost and thus calculate the potential profit and loss till date. So till date means that if you find that your job is very much longer, it's for the longer period, and let's say your job is for 1 year and you would like to check in middle of the year that how much you already input and what are if you're doing any profitable activity or not. So during that time you can run this process and identify how much you have invested so far and what are the chances that whether you are going to be on a profit side or on a loss side through this job. Okay, so in this process we will use two batches. First is the calculate WIP batch, which actually calculates and creates the line per activity for your task lines, which calculate the cost and the profit part. And the second thing is to post the WIP amount to your GL, means your so that your chart of account could reflect you the actual figures which you have spent in your job. Okay, so this is a summary of the job module. Let's start it in the Business Central. So this is my Business Central area. Let me click here, and if I go to the explore all section, you can see this project management module. Just click on explore, and here you can see that what are the processes involved in my job section. So there are multiple sections subsections involved. For example, journals, register entries to check the all the history entries which I have posted in the general ledger, and these are the report sections, and these are the setup section. So the setup sections are quite very normal and as per the standard which generally companies follows, that then I believe there is no need to change in any part of this. If you feel, then you can open the same and change it accordingly as per your need. Okay, so now let us open the main process, which is jobs. Okay, now this is these are the existing job list in my system. To create a new job, just click on new, generate the job card number. Now in the description section, for example, let me clear you with a very simple example, that you have received a contract to provide a nav training to your user for 1 day. Okay, so let's say I will mention the name of my job as nav training. Okay, and the bill to customer here I will mention as the Canon group. Okay, in the person responsible section I can select any resource who is going to train the my Canon group customer. Okay, so if you don't find the required resource, you can create always a new resource here, but for the time being I will use this Mark Hansen here. Okay, and now my general section or general tab is done. Come to the posting tab. Here the status is open, and in the job posting group I will select the standard which is setting up. In the job posting group we have mentioned all the GL accounts which are involved. uh, let's say all your income statement or the balance sheet account which you want to uh, get all your jobs expenses registered in your chart of account. So you can mention your required GLs here in this setup. I am using the standard part only. In the WIP method, there are standard methods available. For example, completed contract, cost of sales, cost value, percentage of completion, or sales value. So I'll always use percentage of completion, which actually directly deals or match with the process or the work in process uh, function, because percentage of completion means that at any stage of your project you can anytime calculate that how much your project has been completed. So I am always using POC. And in the WIP posting method, it can depend at whether you would like to always go with the per job or per job ledger entry. Like you would like to calculate all the entries for your complete job or per activity wise. Okay, so I am using per job, which is standard one. In this, these fields are showing that how much your job is completed percentage wise or invoiced, right? So currently it is 0 only. In the starting date, let me input my date as 01/01/20 and uh, 02/01/20. Okay, so it is of only 1 day. Okay, here you can mention the currency code in which you would like to uh, invoice and post your expenses or the cost which incurred during this job in particular currency. Then you can select that. Here in the WIP and recognition section, as the tab name suggests, it is showing the two categories, to post and posted. Whenever you run any WIP batch to calculate the till date expenses and the sales which you have did, it will after running the batch, the values will reflect here, and once you post those values in the GL, then the values will be transferred to this posted section. Okay, now when we have already filled our header part, it's time to fill our line part. In the line part, let me input here job task number. Job task number could be any number. For your convenience or for easiness, I'll input 10. In the description, I'll input nav training to my customer. Okay, so you can input the description which is relatable to your activity. In the job task type, it could be like posting, heading and total, and begin total and end total. So it is similar like your chart of account. So let's say you would like to, if you would like to uh, make a group of 2 or 3 activities, then you can you must have to select first line as heading, then your activity lines as posting, and then the last line should be end total, right? And begin total and end total. But because I have only one line and I'm only giving the training and it is of only 1 day, so I'm using as posting. So whatever the your main activity part should always have the job task type as posting. Now start date and end date will be blank at now, and it is non-editable. Okay, so it suggests that this activity takes how much time and when it actually start and when it actually ends. Okay, now budget means total cost means that how much budget you have set for this activity. It will come here automatically when we create our planning lines, and it is actual when you post that amount in the ledgers, then it will reflect here as actual. See, these are the cost fields. It depends on you that how much cost you have incurred, and these two fields is how much invoice you are charging to your customer. That price will come here. Okay, now when I have created my line, job task line, it's time to provide the job planning line. But before that, I would like to uh, give you a little bit information about the entities which we can use in the jobs. For example, here in the prices section, we can use GL account, resource or items as it is showing. So resource means that if you would like to add a dedicated resource for this job, then you can add all those resources in this resource sales price and mention the amount and the cost and the price that that resource charge. Okay, and same goes with the G item also, that whatever items you would like to involve in this job, you can mention that same here, but it is not mandatory. You can always add those information in the planning line. Okay, so now when our task line are completed, I will create the task planning line here. So in the planning line, first we have to input that my task number, that for which task I am adding my planning line. Okay, so I have input here as 10. Now in the line type part, I have the option like budget, billable or both budget and billable. As the name suggests, if you would like to use or check only the cost which incurred during which incurred at your part, and you would like to maintain the budget for that particular activity, you can select the budget. And you would, if you would like to make a separate entry for the billable part which you will charge from your customer, you can use billable. So okay, so first I will select the budget that I would like to maintain my cost, how much it is actually charging me, so as in a separate line. So I will use as first line as budget, and in the resource part I will use the I will use here mark. Okay, now quantity will is like 8 hours, because the unit of measure for this resource is hours. So this resource is giving the training to my client for 8 hours, and the cost which I will incur after this for this resource is $99. Okay, and the price which I will charge from my customer will be 160. Okay, so it is editable, you can always change the same. By default it is coming from the resource card. Okay, now in the second part I will use the same task number, but this time I will make it as billable. Okay, now this line is for my sale invoice which I'm going to charge to my customer. Okay, first is for my cost maintenance, second is for my sales maintenance. Okay, now for the first line I will change it the date as 01, and in the second I will change the date as 02. Okay, so now my planning lines are completed. So first I would like to post the cost in my general, in my ledger. So what I can do is select this line, go to the process and click here create job journal lines. Okay, click OK. The job planning lines were successfully transferred to job journal lines. Now again click on process, open the job journal, and you can see that system automatically create the job journal line for me. Now the thing is, what you can do is you can post the same. click yes, and it is successfully posted. So if I can see now, I can come to my task line again here, and we can see that now amount for my cost in budget and actual is coming here. Okay, okay, because I have actually posted the same, so that is why actual figure is also coming. Now in the billable section the cost is coming, the price is coming, but in the invoice it is not coming because I have not posted the sales invoice for the same. So what I'll do is I'll go again to my planning lines. Now by the way, if you would like to see this tab, currently it is showing nothing. Why? Because I have not run my batch, which is work in process batch. So for example, if you would like to check that how much value I have, how much cost I have incurred so far in this job, what I can do is I can run this here and click OK. Job WIP was successfully calculated. Click yes and click close. Now it is saying me to run the post WIP function to GL. So I'll click yes and now click OK. So what we can see here is, and you can see that it has posted only my cost part and sale part is still not reflected in the GL. Okay, it is showing that the sales could be 1208, but the recognized is still not done. So what I can do is I can again go there in my line section, go to my job planning lines, select this line and click on process, click on create sales invoice. Now change the date to OK. Invoice has been successfully created for me, sales invoice. Check your available sales invoices against the planning line by clicking here, and it will open up the sales invoice line which has automatically created for me. Now what I can do is I can post the same and click close. Okay, so now if you can see, now my invoice amount LCY 1280 is coming here. Okay, and if I show you my task line, this billable invoice price amount is now visible here because I have posted my invoice. Okay, now if you can see, my percentage completed is now 100 and invoiced also is 100. That my job is, that my activity which I defined in my job is 100% completed and 100% invoiced also. Okay, now it's time to close this job. So to close this job, you have to manually change the status of this job from open to completed. Okay, so click OK, and now it is showing asking me to run the WIP batch again, so that in case of any posting required to the GL side, it can done automatically. So it is showing that these are the entries which are required to post to your GL after posting my sales invoice. So let me click close and run the batch to post to GL. Click OK. And now that's it. So now as you can see, my total WIP sales GL amount is 0. My total WIP cost is 0. So cost and sales is 0. But my recognized sale GL and recognized cost GL is showing the value, and profit is also, I can clearly see that how much profit I have earned from this job, and GL percent wise, what is my profit percentage and what is my profit amount which I earned from this job. Okay, so this is how we can use the job. In order to, if you like to, let's say, maintain or add any item or link your job to your purchase order, then you can always do the same by by when you create your purchase order, you can add your job number and job information in the purchase line. We can see that in a separate video. So guys, if you like this video, just please click the like button and please subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.